Hello, my name is Shelby and my partner Jose and I did our project on illicit prescription drug use. One issue we found under this overhead problem was the rising issue of opioid misuse within college students. This has become an increasing issue within students and has resulted in a huge increase in opioid overdoses from 1990 to now. In 2017, there were nearly 47,000 individuals that died from an opioid overdose, with opioids also becoming the second most addictive drug within college students. Why is this an issue? Opioids such as oxycodone, hydrocodone, codeine, and morphine are classified as pain relievers and are highly addictive. Anybody can easily become addicted to these medications and develop unhealthy tolerances and dependencies that can last a lifetime if not responsibly used or treated. These drugs also have become easily accessible through students using their own prescriptions irresponsibly, using their parents, or illegal drug transactions on campus as well. Students that participate in opioid misuse are also more likely to put themselves in risky situations that result in abusing other drugs later on in life, such as heroin. There is a very high possibility that misuse of opioids can also result in a substance use disorder, which can cause multiple health issues and problems in completing responsibilities and tasks. This right here is just a nice diagram kind of showing that opioids put people at risk. This is 40 times more likely to be addicted to other drugs such as heroin later on in life. The best known approach to combating the opioid crisis in students is educating the student population on the dangers of opioid use. The U.S. Department of Education started a two-pronged approach that focused on education within the school systems and by funding at the state level as well. This solution was heavily pushed after Donald Trump declared the opioid crisis a national public emergency. Through focusing on education, they are able to help students realize the dangers of opioid misuse and the serious effects that come with it. Most cases of opioid misuse are caused by students not knowing the risk of misusing these prescription drugs. These drugs have a misconception of having a low risk when in reality they're deceptively one of the most addictive types of medications. The main goal of using education on the harmful effects of opioid misuse through the school system is deterrence. Since most opioids can be prescribed, they can be perceived as a low-risk drug. Many students are unaware of the harmful effects and possible dependency that they may develop when misusing these drugs. This can then help prevent the misuse from occurring in the first place. While also educating, this approach creates an environment where students can feel more comfortable talking about issues that they are experiencing with drug misuse and can assist them in finding the help that they need.
How does the approach work, and are there specific terms and objectives of the approach? The approach is taking a two-pronged approach to addressing the opioid crisis. The first is helping to educate students, family, and educators about the dangers of opioid misuse and about ways to prevent and overcome opioid addiction. And the second part is supporting state and local education agency efforts to prevent and reduce opioid misuse. Now, with everything, there's always some positives, which this one, some of the main ones that I want to highlight are it gives real scenarios to the students and how to react to them. It can help them stop using drugs and also help them learn other skills for other parts of their life. And it helps reduce illicit prescription drug use in college students. Now, with everything having positives, there's also always going to be some drawbacks. This one has a few, and the few that I want to highlight are that if it's not done and implemented correctly, it could be seen as ineffective. Even if the idea is done right, not everything works as planned, and not everyone reacts to information the same. And you cannot teach every student about every drug ever made, every statistic that has ever been gathered. Now, why we chose this approach over other approaches is that it shows the most promise. It's very cost effective compared to any other approach that we could find. It can be implemented quickly into lots of different students at once, as you can do this in a lecture hall or something similar. And it helps build life skills that can be used for a multitude of different scenarios.